Let's go Lions! Recently, some news broke that has made waves among fans. We're headed to another matchup, and this time against the Colts. What does Dan Campbell have in store for this matchup? We'll see. Before we jump into today's exclusive updates, hit the like button to stay up to date with the latest Detroit Lions news. Trust me, you won't want to miss a second of what's happening as we march toward a historic season. Now, let's dive into some key storylines, from Hendon Hooker's development to Sam Laporta's return to Coach Campbell's thoughts on resting starters. Let's get started. First, let's talk about Hendon Hooker. The rookie quarterback has had a few opportunities to get on the field this season, thanks to the Lions completely dominating their opponents. Hooker has played in 3 games so far, coming on during blowout wins, but if you were expecting to see him shine, you may have been left wanting more. He's thrown just 9 passes in those games, and most of those were checkdowns or short throws. That 21-yard pass to Khalif Raymond last Sunday? Yeah, that was an outlier. So why won't the Lions let him loose? Offensive coordinator Ben Johnson clarified that this week. According to Johnson, it's all about balance. They want to give Hooker valuable game reps but not show up their opponents. The challenge for me is I want to give him some passes, Johnson said, but I also don't want to be disrespectful to the opponent. It's a balancing act between getting Hooker experience and maintaining good sportsmanship, and honestly, you have to respect that. It's a classy move by the Lions, even if it means we won't see Hooker fully unleashed until next year's preseason. Hooker's situation is a testament to how well this Lions team has been playing. Sitting at 9-1, they're in a commanding position in the NFC, and their depth is one of the reasons why. But the offense isn't the only exciting thing happening right now. Let's shift gears to some promising updates on 2 key players, Sam Laporta and rookie cornerback Terrion Arnold. Laporta, who missed last week's game with a shoulder injury, looks set to return for Sunday's matchup against the Colts. Dan Campbell couldn't hide his excitement about how good Laporta has looked in practice this week. He's been good, Campbell said. Looks like he's got fresh legs, so that's good. Fresh legs? Lions fans, you know what that means. Laporta could be a game-changer this weekend, and with 25 receptions for 366 yards and 3 touchdowns already this season, his return will only make this offense more lethal. On the defensive side, Terrion Arnold seems to be trending in the right direction after a minor groin tweak in practice. Campbell isn't too concerned and expects Arnold to be ready to go. Arnold has been a consistent presence in the secondary, starting all 10 games this season and recording 6 passes defensed. His ability to stay healthy and contribute is crucial as the Lions gear up for a demanding stretch of games. Now, let's address a question that's bound to come up as we near the playoffs. Will the Lions rest their starters if they secure the top seed in the NFC? Let's be real, Lions fans, the answer is probably not. Dan Campbell made it clear last season, and reiterated recently, that he values momentum over rest. You want to make sure that you end on a good note, Campbell said. You're playing good, efficient football. The guys feel good about it. You're in a rhythm. That rhythm is key, especially if the Lions lock up the NFC's top seed, which comes with a first-round bye. Giving players 2 weeks off could do more harm than good, as it risks disrupting the flow that's carried this team to such a dominant position. Campbell is all about keeping his players sharp and ready to go, even if it means they play limited snaps in Week 18. He summed it up best last season: when we're done with the season, they're going to rest. I promise you that. So, Lions fans, here's the deal. Between Hooker's slow but steady development, Laporta's long-awaited return, and the focus on keeping the momentum going, this team is on fire. But now it's your turn. What do you think of the way the Lions are handling Hooker's playing time? Do you agree with Campbell's philosophy about resting starters? And how excited are you to see Laporta back in action this weekend? The Lions are a stellar 9-1 and head into Week 12 against the Indianapolis Colts, a team trying to get back into contention at 5-6. The Lions are on a tear, but we all know Dan Campbell's team isn't going to take anyone for granted. This game is key to keeping the momentum going into December, and we have a game plan to make that happen. First up, the ground game. The Colts' run defense has been shaky, allowing 143.1 rushing yards per game, which ranks 28th in the NFL. This is a golden opportunity for the Lions' dominant rushing attack, which averages 152.2 yards per game, the third best in the league. David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs will be crucial here. Expect Montgomery to hammer the defense early and late, with Gibbs slicing through the middle quarters. The key is for the offensive line to reach the second level, clearing paths for those big runs. If Detroit establishes the run, it sets up everything else. Now, let's talk play action. The Colts play a ton of zone defense, aiming to keep everything in front of them, but they're aggressive against the run. That's where Jared Goff and the Lions' play-action game can take over. By pulling defenders out of position, Goff can hit open receivers in those soft spots. The Lions are already one of the league's best play-action teams, and this game is tailor-made for it. Speaking of matchups, keep an eye on how the Lions handle Kenny Moore, the Colts' elite nickel corner. He'll likely be tasked with covering Amon-Ra St. Brown. While that's no easy task, the Lions can use motion and crossing routes to scheme St. Brown open. Beyond that, look for tight ends and running backs to exploit mismatches against the Colts linebackers. Identifying these favorable matchups and capitalizing on them will be key. On defense, the Lions' first priority is stopping the run. The Colts are trying to establish a ground game to support quarterback Anthony Richardson, but they haven't been particularly effective. Detroit's run defense, ranked 5th in the league, has been lights out lately, holding opponents like the Jaguars and Texans to under 60 rushing yards. The key will be winning at the point of attack, with Alim McNeill disrupting the Colts' offensive line. Discipline will also be critical. The Colts love to create confusion with motion and misdirection, especially with their RPO and zone read concepts. The Lions' linebackers will need to stay focused on their assignments to avoid getting caught out of position. One thing to watch for, when Colts receiver Ashton Dulin lines up tight on the left side, it's often a sign of a quarterback-designed run. Richardson has had success with this play, but the Lions will be ready. In the passing game, Richardson loves targeting the middle of the field, especially on third downs. Josh Downs is his go-to guy in clutch moments. The Lions need to cover the middle effectively, whether through zone concepts or disguising their coverage to confuse Richardson. The rookie QB has struggled with decision-making under pressure, and that brings us to our final key, the blitz. Detroit has been blitzing more than any team in the league since Week 7, and it's working. Richardson has struggled against the blitz, and with the Colts likely starting 3 rookie offensive linemen, the Lions have a huge advantage. Look for Aaron Glenn's defense to dial up timely blitzes to disrupt Richardson's rhythm and force mistakes. So, Lions fans, those are your 10 keys to victory. If the Lions execute this Honolulu blueprint, they'll walk out of Indy with win number 10. What do you think? Are there any keys you'd add to the list? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And as always, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any updates as the Lions continue their incredible season. Thanks for watching, and let's roar on to victory. Go Lions!